ruins, and now it's been rejuvenated. And that is largely the work of Matt Rhule, who had absolutely nothing to do with all of the problems here. But the renovation, oh, his fingerprints are all over that. Matt Rhule, Wired, leading up to Oklahoma.
We're a relentless, tough group of guys.
Head back! Head back! Come on! 3! Bro, if that happens to you and you get edged, you better turn and sprint.
There's the things we want to get better at, the things we're trying to improve upon, but our guys love competition.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Last shove. There you go. Chloe, you're starting to get it, bro. Hey, Rob, how come, Rob, how come when you don't get the sack, you limp back? When you had the sack, when you had the other sack, you had that, like, you had a high step.
That's it, Jake. Fight. That's better. Good.
Good rep. Good rep. I love it. I love
it. And we are pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Bears, Matt Rhule. Matt, I know I could sense it from the fans. It's embarrassing. They don't like to hear about the past, and I'm sure you're tired of it too. But part of the story is the remarkable turnaround and the situation you inherited and have largely fixed. What compelled you to take this job?
Well, I felt like it was where my wife and I were supposed to be. You know, I think that all of us in life have a purpose. I think the Lord gives us a purpose in our lives gives us gifts to go out and do certain things. And I felt like for this time and space, I was uniquely suited. My wife, my kids, we were uniquely suited to come here, to come to Baylor. It's a wonderful place. And the story about Baylor University should be about how it transforms and changes lives on a daily basis. And we can't ignore what happened. We can't say, hey, let's stop talking about it, because issues of sexual assault are happening all over universities across the country. And the only way to fix it is to talk about it, to acknowledge the mistakes we made. But we also have to acknowledge that Baylor has transformed itself, and we are really a leader now in many aspects against the fight against sexual assault.
When you compare the culture that you have now, when you go into that football building every day, to what you inherited, how does it compare?
Well, I think we have a group of guys that not just love to play football, but they love to go to school. They love to give back to the community. I see a couple of our moms are over here. They're going to leave here, and they're going to go and they're going to donate and stock pantries here in Waco. It's a tremendous culture filled with tremendous people. When I first got here, there were a bunch of guys that hadn't really done anything wrong, but were kind of broken. And what we had to do is we couldn't win games right away, but we had to rebuild them, give them confidence academically, give them confidence in what they did in the community. And I think now you see a bunch of men out there playing good football.
Not only a transformation off the field, but on the field. I mean, you bring in a new message, and yet you're 1-11 in the first year. How did you get the players, especially the guys that were on the previous teams, how did you get them to buy into, hey, this is going to work, and all of a sudden you're 1-11? How did you get them to buy in?
It was really, really hard, and a lot of credit goes to those seniors. A couple of them are here today, and they were sending me texts earlier today, because they were the guys who they had to sacrifice their senior year, and they had to stand in the gap for us. And I think the lesson that came from the guys like Taylor Young was, guys, it might be different. It might not be working now, but you have to trust and believe in the process. And I said trust in the process a lot. A lot of these fans said trust in the process. It's way easier to trust in it now. But it was those guys that went out there every Tuesday and every Wednesday and grinded and went out there on Saturdays and knew they probably weren't going to have much of a chance to win. They did it, and that's what makes them so special to me personally.
This game tonight, Oklahoma, can you talk about Charlie Brewer and your offense, what they have to do against an Oklahoma team that, when you think Oklahoma, everybody here, they think of Lincoln Riley and they think of Jalen Hurts and scoring. What about Baylor's offense? What do you guys have to do tonight?
You know what? We have to go play free. I think, the last 2 weeks, we've been in a little bit of a lull. Haven't really played the way we want to play on offense. And all of a sudden, we get down there last week. There's 3 minutes left. Our back's to the wall. Charlie takes us down. We nail a field goal. And then 3 straight times they went out and they answered the call, scored a touchdown. And so Charlie Brewer's as good as anyone in the country. Denzel Mims, our entire offense, when their back's against the wall. So you know what? We're just going to go play tonight like our back's against the wall from the very beginning and let it rip.
Yep. And when your back's against the wall, what do you need from this Baylor line tonight? Oh, you're coming in.
I tell you what, they've been absolutely amazing all year long. I mean, when you come to a game in Waco, it might be 180 degrees. It might be cold like it is today. But these guys, these students, and here's what I want you to know. It's these students that were out there in year one. Most of them are juniors now that stayed out there during the losses. That's what makes me so happy to have game day here, to have you guys here. I love that song that you guys start with. I got some good friends. I listen to that every Saturday morning. And the fact that it's back in Waco, man, has me excited for these kids and excited for us.
Well, we're fired up to be here. Matt, best of luck, man.
Thanks,
Matt Rhule, the head coach of Baylor, doing a tremendous job here. They can get off to a 10-0 start, take a giant step toward a Big 12 championship game, maybe even a rematch with Oklahoma. Who knows? But they will have to deal with this man, C.D. Lamb, maybe the